Hey, what's going on, guys? Kyle Carroll at MyMMAnews.com. I'm waiting for Danny Maldonado to be joining us. As soon as he hops on, we're going to get going and we'll be talking to the flyweight champion of a local promotion here in New York. So he's going to be fighting and defending his title for second time. Be sure to tune in or check out what he has to say. New York champion, amateur, and then there's a few other questions I want to ask him about being a fighter, being an amateur, and what he thinks of others and stuff. So as soon as he comes on, I'll invite him and we'll get going talking about him. So. But he's got to come on so we can invite him. And here we go. We're going to invite him right now. I can't bring on the broadcast. Oh. Danny's watching. Hopefully he switches to his phone, or obviously his computer for whatever reason won't allow me to bring him on. So if he could turn his phone on and access the feed right away, we'll get him on as soon as possible. Just not letting me bring him on right now. But yeah, so as soon as he gets on, we'll get going and chat up with Danny Maldonado. We got Johnny Piero on as well. See what Johnny Piero's doing. Let's see what he's doing. So we can bring him on for. Johnny Piero's had a fight of the night at Jackhammer Promotions. A hell of a fight. Him and Eric Shifter beat the shit out of each other. So if any of you guys watched that, it was a pretty exciting fight. Pretty fun. Yeah, it was a pretty good time. So. What's going on, Piero? Like I was saying, you and Eric Shifter, man, had a hell of a fight. You guys beat the hell out of each other. Definitely fight of the night. I know someone else was saying another fight was a fight of the night, which I don't know what they were drinking or smoking, but there's no way that's possible. So definitely not. But now we're about to bring on Danny Maldonado, Triton Fights champion. He should be on any moment, and then we'll get going. So, hey, what's going on, Danny?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good. I'm tired. I just got out of training, so I'm a little exhausted, but I'll be all right.
Awesome, awesome. Tell us how training's going and what you've added to camp.
Training's going good. I just got into my coach's new gym, Bancho MMA. So this camp, I finally have all my coaches under one roof. So far so good. Training's going well. I feel like I'm peaking early, but everything's going well.
And you're fighting for a Triton Fights Flyweight Championship. You're defending your title for the second time. What does it mean to be fighting and defending your title for the second time?
It's good. I wasn't satisfied with my last performance. I feel like it was too easy, and that's not so. I want to challenge myself at all times. So this opponent, he's a tough guy, tough wrestler. So I'm excited, to be defending takedowns instead of going for them.
Awesome, awesome. So you're looking to, I know, show off your striking, something you said you didn't get to do much of last time. Now you'll
Exactly.
be fighting a different opponent. Tell us a little bit about your opponent, what you expect from him.
Well, he's experienced. He has like 10 fights. So he's very experienced for the amateurs. He's a high level wrestler. I know that he just won a wrestling tournament in Cuba, so that's a pretty big deal. So I know he's tough. I know he always pushes a high pace, which is exactly what I do. So I'm looking forward to like meeting in the middle, and whoever takes the step back is gonna lose.
Do you think his wrestling is going to be a factor? Someone's winning a tournament in Cuba. That's pretty skilled wrestling. Um,
Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty
so
big
that's
deal.
something you've relied on winning. Do you think that's going to play a factor in this?
It's gonna force me to go outside my comfort zone, which I want to do, and start striking. I've been working really hard on my boxing, so I'm looking forward to sprawling and brawling, man. I'll stop his takedowns and then hopefully, pick him apart on the feet with punches and kicks and whatever I feel like throwing.
Awesome. Now, what do you think you've done differently or have improved on from your last fight till now?
Uh, I just the last fight, it was a dominating performance. I just kept doing the same thing. I working on my striking coach, Rob Acevedo. We just continue working. I just feel a lot more comfortable on the feet, especially in sparring. I stand up more than I wrestle. So I know that I'm finally becoming a complete fighter, and I just really looking to showcase that this fight and just actually I want to finish this guy for sure.
All right. Now, tell me what's with your nickname? Is Tornado? Where'd you come up with that? Is that like a twist of your name and a tornado, or like how do you come up with that?
No, no, it's actually Flashionado.
Oh,
Flashionado.
last night. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a nickname I got from sparring. I got fast hands, so my teammate called me Flashionado since it's my last name, and then it has a ring to it. It looks good in the back of a t-shirt. So yeah, that's how it became.
There you go. Whatever makes T-shirts sell, right? Um,
Exactly.
now you've been kind of vocal on Facebook and chirping at other people, chirping at the media. Tell us a little of
Yep.
your incentive and why you've been doing all the chirping lately.
I feel like I've always wanted to do that. I feel like now that I have some kind of like I'm a champion, I got like like a mini platform. I feel like I could actually say what I feel and people will be receptive to it. So yeah, I just been talking shit. I've been saying things that people actually want to like somebody to say, and a lot of people agree with what I have to say. So I feel like since nobody's gonna do it, I rather say speak my mind, and then people agree with me and people don't. I don't mind the banter, but I'm just gonna say what's on my mind and hold to it.
Well, definitely. Well, you got a platform here. What are some things that have been on your mind that you want to get out like with like other fighters and stuff? Or
It's not so much fighters. Well, okay. There's a lot of fighters that they want to be an MMA fighter. They want to be like, they want to be, have that. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm an MMA fighter, but they don't want to put in the work. And then they think it looks cool, to get nice pictures and compete. But it's like, man, you're just gonna be a punching bag. People just gonna beat you up and then you're gonna lose. And I see like people are comfortable with losing, and that irks the shit out of me because it's like, why do you want to be getting your ass kicked in front of your friends and family? And like, what's the purpose of doing that? And then you have like, wannabe gyms that want to be MMA gyms, and they all suck. And then you have like fake promotions, and then people getting hurt, and just I feel like there needs to be a stop to this because the MMA scene, there's good things and there's bad things, but in the amateur scene, there's mostly bad things because people don't know what the hell they're doing.
well, I won't disagree with you. There's definitely an oversaturation right now in MMA, especially on the amateur level. Is there anything you suggest or believe they should do to eliminate the saturation?
Stop. I feel like we don't need that many shows. Like, you got ACC, they've been around for a long time. You got Triton fights, which I think is the best. And then you have New York Fight Exchange, which I greatly respect. Mike Washington, he's a good person. I like talking to him. He's a good guy. And then you have some some shit upstate that's terrible. And then you got the ECF. That's a whole bunch of crazy shit going on over there. So I feel like everybody wants to be a fighter, and like everybody's throwing opportunities at them, and they don't know where to go. And some guys get really hurt, and I feel like when you should only have 3, 4 solid promotions, and these other wannabe need to go because we're doing this for free, and the last thing I want to do is get hurt for free without any incentive to keep doing it.
Definitely. Now, do you think there should be a limitation to how many, I guess, promotions or license they should give out to how many fighters are allowed to get a license each year? Like, so a lot of New York State
Not
kind of
really.
regulate that.
Yeah, I just feel like before a fighter gets any kind of license or any chance to fight, they should kind of do not a background check, but kind of just see where they're training, how the gym's going and how their skill set is. Because I feel like a lot of people train in their house or they train in their backyard and they want to fight, and then like get all these phony fighters coming in getting their ass kicked, and it's like that's not good. I feel like this sport needs to be like imagine it was like a high school basketball team, even college, and then you got like a school that has a, a gym and a team full of shitty players, like a basketball, and they're just like this ain't the Harlem Globetrotters. Like this is like if you have that, no one's gonna take them serious. So I feel like when you get all these like 1,000 fighters and 90% of them are trash, like that makes it look bad. There's no evolution in the game if you have everybody wants to do the same shit. They need to be at least good or have like come from a good camp where like they can hold some kind of responsibility for that kind of stuff.
I don't disagree. I really think I've been saying it for a while now, especially in New York with the different gyms. I believe that gyms should be, if you have a team or a fighter fighting, you should be regulated some way or another, and they should be registered, licensed, and so forth. But you talk about upstate fights, and I've commentated a couple fights upstate New York. They got some pretty tough guys coming from Canada up there. That would be a pretty good matchup, I think,
Yeah.
for you. I wouldn't mind seeing some of these guys going back and forth. So, any thought of ever going upstate to fight or having them come down to fight you?
I know there's was it Cage Wars? That's a Cage Wars is the one that you were doing? Cage Wars or
Yeah, yep,
Cage
Cage
Titans, one
Wars,
of those
yeah.
things. Yeah, I honestly like I'm a fan of good fighters, and I know what's that? Z Lao, that's his name?
Yeah,
Z Lao?
Zila, yep.
Or it's the Serpent? What? Yeah, like yeah, I wanted to fight him. Like I don't mind fighting him. Like, but I feel like in this stage I want to go pro, and hopefully that's somebody that I got my eye on because he's very talented. Like I'm not, I can talk all the shit I want, but I know talent when I see it. To be honest, I saw his last fight when he went up to 135. I don't think he won that fight,
Hmm.
but props to him for going up in weight because it's a whole different weight class. The guys are bigger, stronger, fast. They're not, I wouldn't say faster, but stronger. And like, when you're in the clinch, the weight plays a difference, especially in the grappling. I feel like weight makes everything a little harder. So props to him. I don't think he won that fight, but I feel like my style is probably what gives him the most problems because I
Okay.
believe in that now with my hands the way they are and the transition to wrestling, like I feel like I'm complete. And for that guy, he's a dynamic fighter. He's a knockout artist. I mean, when his submissions, he's explosive with the submission. Not really keen to position, which is important when you're trying to fight and 30 ground and pound. So I feel like stylistically, I'll be the worst matchup for him with my speed as well. But I have a lot of respect for him because he's a good fighter.
Awesome, man. And you're talking about going professional. What's the timetable after this fight, after you defend your title for the second time?
It depends on how this performance goes. Like I used to wanna like I'd be like last year I was like, oh, I gotta go pro like immediately, but I'm taking it one fight at a time. This fight we'll see if I go pro. Most likely I will, but I have to win, obviously. But I feel like after this fight I would go pro. Unless I
Okay.
unless I get my ass kicked or something, then I can't.
Well, either way, say you were offered a title shot upstate in July at a casino, would you take it?
I mean, that was offered to me. So we'll see. You know what? Like we'll see. I mean, I'm loyal to Triton. They usually, any fighter I want, they give him to me. So maybe I fight for Triton in July and Z wants to come down and take my belt, or maybe I'll go over there and take his belt. It doesn't matter. But we'll see. Let me get through this fight, but I'm not a bitch. I always wherever the challenges are, bring them to me and I'll beat them. That's how I feel.
Awesome. Now, what do you want to do in your professional career? Obviously, the ultimate goal is, everyone wants to get to UFC, Bellator, to the highest level possible. Um, what do you have to do to get to that level? Do you and yourself like everyone usually evolves, makes changes within camps or around camps, the way they diet, the way they do certain things. What do you have to do to make that leap?
Keep doing what I'm doing. I feel like every day I'm improving. I'm getting a lot stronger, a lot faster. I'm more well-rounded now, and I feel great. But I feel like skill set is very important, but so is opportunity. Like you
Hmm.
get what I'm saying? Like you have to. Everybody wants to be a fighter. There's a whole bunch of fighters coming in. It's like you have to stand out. So I feel like you need to finish your opponent, and you also need to have a personality. Like I feel like I got a good personality. I don't mind talking shit, and I don't mind saying what's on my chest. So I feel like that when you do that, that actually helps you get to the UFC or Bellator faster. So I feel like all these guys, they all fight and they train hard, but they don't get they don't get noticed because they don't say anything. So I feel like I say a lot. Maybe I say too much, but I say enough where it gets people talking about me. So I feel like I go into pros, I steamroll 4 or 5 guys, and I'll get the call to the UFC. Hopefully, that's the plan.
Awesome, awesome. Now, um, being that you're seeing now New York is bringing in more professional fight cards. You're seeing CES is coming to space at Westbury in May, right before you
Yeah.
guys fight at Triton Fights in Westbury. You got Bellator coming in constantly, PFL coming in constantly. How important is it to see that how many people coming in for you? Is it like um, is it opening your eyes and seeing that there's more opportunities than you really thought there were in the past?
Yeah, since it's been legalized in New York, I feel like, it's a big market. Everybody wants to make money. So I feel like when all these opportunities come into New York, it makes it a lot easier for guys like guys like me or like these up and coming guys in New York to get on these cards instead of traveling to like fucking Jersey or West Bubblefuck just to fight. Like, it's easier for us. We get our fans involved, and it just it's more of a limelight for us New York guys. So and that's great that they're all coming. Hopefully, I win this fight and I get on one of those cards, and then I'll start making history over there.
Now, have you? I don't know if you have, but have you done much traveling as a fighter? I think it's a little important that for especially a young fighter, if you can, to travel a bit to kind of experience that. There's not many people get to fight in their home area. Have you done any, or maybe hopefully in the future?
Yeah, I want to. Like that's one of the things I like about fighting, and when you turn pro is that you get to go to different places. Like my dream is always to fight in Japan, just because that's
Okay.
just fucking dope. And then like you go sightseeing. You kick somebody's ass, and then you go hang out on the Eiffel Tower. Like you get to
Hmm.
travel and stuff like so. That's always an incentive to go fight and turn pro is to travel, but do what I love, which is fighting. So it's beneficial for both areas.
Awesome, awesome. And what can we expect from you in this fight?
Well, obviously want to finish. What I'm really looking forward to is to show my complete arsenal. Like I know this guy's gonna be shooting at least 10 takedowns a minute. So I know I got to be on my P's and Q's with that. I can't overextend on my punches. I can't, get too excited if I see a finish. I got to take my time. I got to sprawl on his takedowns and then pick him apart. So I know it's going to be a high-paced fight. He is legit. Like, he's a legit wrestler. And, like, all these guys are phony out here saying they know how to wrestle, but he actually knows how to wrestle. And I feel like it's going to be a tough fight, but I feel like if I do everything right, it's just I want to finish him. I would say in the second round makes sense. Second round finish. I see myself finishing him submission or TKO.
Okay, awesome. Anything about you? I know you're a pretty open book. You love your cheeseburgers, your food. Anything about you that you've kind of adopted or doing that fans might not know right now?
Uh, haven't had a cheeseburger in a while, and I've been
Oh,
trying
all
to
right.
keep my diet. I've been trying to actually diet. I feel like I'm doing pretty well. Like my cardio's better. I had to sacrifice the cheeseburgers, but I have to do what it takes to be the best. So like so I'm looking to I got a six pack already, which is cool, and I'm like 100 and I'm like 140, 140.
Okay.
So I'm pretty lean. I'm pretty lean, so the weight cut's gonna be a little tough, but I should be in the best shape I've ever been for a fight. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
Awesome, awesome. Anyone you want to shout out, recognize before we wrap it up?
Shout out to, obviously Triton Fights for giving me the platform to perform. Shout out to my coaches, Matt Kaplan, Rob Acevedo, Boncho MMA, all my teammates. Shout out to you for, for giving me the time to talk. And yeah, just for any flyweights that want to fight me, just let me know. Z Lau, man, I'm looking at you. We'll fight one day. So that'll be. I feel like when me and him fight, that'll be something big. The best flyweights in the game fighting each other. So much respect, and yeah, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and hopping on with us, and wish you the best of luck in your fight.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Have a good one, man.
Thanks, you too, man.